So, guys, here is Rufai's breakdown on the interview that Wike granted. Take a look.
Wike is saying that the governor is the architect of the violence. Why can't you prove it empirically? Because all of this was because of the skirmish or the fight happening between both of them. And that's why I said there were many things we will have pressed Wike on that interview. The first thing, as he said that, I will have asked him, give me proof. I'll have said, is it the governor that is disrupting all the local governments? Why will this happen after the local government elections? Is it the governor that went to get the Federal High Court order to disrupt the local government election in the first place?
Point. Why did it happen after the election?
Why did it happen after the election? No, it didn't even happen after the election. It happened during the election
yes.
and after the election. It happened before, during, and after the elections. I'd also have pressed him the fact that, why is it that as the governor and state security officer, the police is doing the bidding of the opposition party? And if he says he's got no hand involved, why was he saying, oh, APC was the one that filed the court order and everything? Why is he there in the mix of things? He's supposed to be facing Abuja. And like somebody, and that's why I think very dark man has called it that, we can rather than fighting in the river, there are roads left undone in Abuja. He also said that when they asked him, is it about resource? He said, no, I have my own budget. Please, Mr. Wike, that budget is not for you, it's for Abuja. Then secondly, I also have to say this. I don't know, I think the lawyers have to go to clarify. The unilateral changing of the name, is there not going to be some, legal pathways to be able to go through changing the name? Because the name of that building probably was codified. But also, why will a politician name a building after himself in the first place? Chief it just shows the kind of hegemony these politicians have. You're naming things after yourself. It shows the level of hubris our politicians have. All in all, we want peace.
Absolutely.
And I also support the governor in what he's doing as regards setting up a panel of inquiries. Mr. Wike said, the arsonists, just go and fish them out. Discipline. No, it's following due process, like we've said before. There are many questions we would like to press him on. But I would also like to ask Mr. Wike, but this was the man that you said that if you touch him, you touch me, because he's governor now. I think the problem, as with all godfathers, they make a mistake. And I have to say a Yoruba adage before I interpret the mistake. Yorubas have a saying. They say, "Eniba foju ano wuku ebora bolasho." What it means is, if you look at a dead man with the eyes of, oh, he was still there yesterday, the spirits will rip off your clothes. So what it means is the fact that if you keep looking at it that, oh, I brought him, he's my boy, but he's now the governor. You forget he's now the chief of the state. So you must respect that. So you looking at him with the eyes of, oh, he was not the one I brought him in. He even talked about the fact that even before he became governor, he was allowing attend council meetings in the state. That was all of, once he was sworn in on meeting, you need to respect that. So that's where the conflict will always start. And I said this thing. Another conflict we are waiting to load is between Mr. Oshomole and Okpebolo, because it always happens.
I mean, the issue of godfatherism and the politics in Nigeria. I want to actually pull up the picture of the day because I'm doing something new now. This is a picture, I believe that was posted on Business Day. Cartoon of the day. For me, there it is. I would like for you to help me interpret this picture small. I will not be running in 2027 election. I will walk comfortable. That is Tinubu with all his dogs. They have the INEC, we have the police, we have the judiciary. And that definitely.
Oh gosh, we spoke about this in detail. I wish I could say that no, absolutely not. Institutions in Nigeria are independent. They are, they do their duties, they do their jobs. So we've seen this play out. I think one other thing they should add to that is the opposition parties, because he almost has the opposition parties on a leash as well, because they have men in there. And we've talked about this at length about how we do not have strong oppositions, and if they're not careful, come 2027, even without these machineries at the disposal of the government, he would walk, because there's no viable opposition. So this talk around them coming together to form an alliance has been in the talks for a long time. Can they put aside personal interest and actually put the interest of the people and consolidate? At the end of the day, the people will choose,
Right.
but let them have viable candidates or people to choose. But also, let us also point to the fact that these institutions that we mentioned, even though it's a joke, it shouldn't be like this. INEC should be in the first letter of INEC is independent. Independent. So we talk about these things as a joke. The police should follow the constitution of the nation, not at the will of a particular person in power. So these are the conversations we have. We need stronger institutions for democracy to work in Nigeria.
Well, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Seun Wike, has blamed the governor of Rivers State, Similaye Fubara, for the crisis rocking the state, saying that Fubara is the architect of the violence in the state. Wike made the claims during a live television interview, adding that the violence erupted due to the governor's failure to obey the rule of law and a court judgment. Let's take a look.
He went as far as to say, I do not need police before I conduct an election. I do not need security agencies before I conduct an election. I don't need the protection of life and property. When somebody says, I don't need police, what are you saying? I'm inviting violence. Hoodlums will take opportunity, saying police will not be involved. And you are saying, you can go. I don't care about it. I don't care about it. In that case, who is the perpetrator of that violence? Who?
Are you blaming the governor for the violence that...
It is not about blaming. Governor is the architect of the violence.
Yeah, you heard that, Rufai. He did say the architect of the violence, but Wike is citing court judgment. Which court judgment is he talking about? Because Fubara was standing on his own court judgment as well. But in the meantime, Chijoke Ihonwo, the newly inaugurated chairman of Obuakpo local government area in Rivers State, has ordered the removal of Wike's name from a building at the council secretariat. The building, according to the chairman, will be renamed Obi Wali House.
This name, this man, yes, if you don't know what else, so that note at the chairman of council, who don't rename me by the removal of call him Obi Wali. I want to come from Ikore land, we don't help Ikore people well. Yes, sir. So we don't rename here Obi Wali House. Obi Wali. We don't support Ikore. We make people enjoy. Yes, sir. We'll come tomorrow morning. Make it come. I'm gonna come.
All right, Rufai.
So a couple of things.
Said Ayo. Well, more on elections. Let's head over to Anambra State. We'll take the story of Honorable Okonkwo Kenneth, a councillorship candidate representing the Young Progressive Party for Otolo Ward 1, who was reportedly attacked and tear gassed by the police for fighting to secure his mandate during the just concluded local government elections. Kenneth is a person living with disability and an advocate for democracy and the rights of persons with disabilities. He was hospitalized after the incident.
So as you can see, the commander SARS with his team came here and they threatened me. Where I was trying to defend our civic responsibility or our civic rights in Otolo Ward 1. I'm a contestant for this election, YPP councillorship candidate in Otolo Ward 1, and it is my duty to defend the civil rights of my people. It is also my duty to ensure that due process take place at this election. But I'm disappointed that the ruling government is threatening the poor masses with the state security. So, but one thing is certain, that we want the people's heart, and God is on our side. Thank you so much.
This is such a sad, sad incident. I know persons living with disability in Anambra State trooped out in protest against this actual incident that occurred in Anambra State. We're calling on the governor. I mean, he was hospitalized after this whole incident. Dr. Abati.
Okay, this is...
So, guys, it's very clear to everybody that the interview that was granted by Wike was just so shabby. Wike evaded so many questions that were asked, you know, that were thrown at him, because he doesn't want people to understand where this problem started from. So Wike is just blaming Fubara on court judgment, court ruling. He has to obey rule of law and all this. And people keep wondering, when did Wike start obeying court rulings or court, whatever court rules on? Wike is one of the people who thinks nobody can challenge him, nobody can talk to him, nobody can caution him. He believes he has the money, he has the judiciary, he has the police, he has INEC, he has everything. But you can see how Wike is, like, you know, failing in all that, because everything is collapsing when it comes to the structure he claims he has put up, which he says Fubara wants to destroy. So Wike is losing at all fronts, and now he's managing to defend himself. But you can see that the defense is not going to be easy, because what is he going to tell Nigerians? What is he going to tell Nigerians that Fubara did to him that is unforgivable? Fubara has always said, tell me my crime, tell me what I did wrong. Wike has never come out to tell the world what Fubara did to him. And now he's just pushing it to Fubara is not obeying rule of law. Fubara is not obeying the court. Fubara is not obeying judgment. Fubara is not following rule of law. So you just see that he's just making empty statements. And that is why Rufai was saying, provide your facts. Provide your facts. Just stop talking things that are not, you know, in line with what we are saying or what we are seeing on ground. Tell Nigerians the facts. When you say Fubara didn't do this, prove it with empirical facts. That is what Rufai told him. And that is why I keep saying that, see, people like Wike will never dare to come on Arise television for an interview, because he will be scared of people like Rufai who ask questions and don't look at people's faces, people's age, if you are old or young. Rufai will want to ask that question he had in mind without him thinking of any other thing, you know. And that is what journalism is all about. Journalism is all about you making things bare to everybody to get to understand. And but in Nigeria, you know, these governments, bodies and the executive, they've taken hold of the whole system, including journalism is collapsing in Nigeria. There is no longer room for investigative journalism. You cannot go to investigate a matter and bring out the facts that you discovered in this country. They will come after you. They will use police. They will threaten you. They will lock you up if they lay their hands on you. And we say we are running a democracy. I beg. Where is democracy in this country? Where is democracy? So of everything Wike did, Wike could boldly walk into Arise television, sat down and said things that are out of point. None of the things he said were aligning to the questions that were being thrown at him. He just said all things and confused Seun and walked out of Channels television. So Rufai is really saying that, oh my God, that I think Seun lost some good opportunities that he had to have thrown hard questions and to have insisted that Wike answers those questions, because these are the things Nigerians want to know. You are the architect of the problem, and now you are pushing it to Fubara. Fubara that has always come out to say, I don't know my crime. But because Wike is in Abuja, having the money, having the military, having the police, having everybody, Wike stays there and commands what happens in Rivers State. So guys, I don't know what you make of all this, but looking at the way these politicians are taking the masses for granted is something Nigerians should be worried about. I mean, they take us for granted as in we will do it, nothing will happen. We will do it, nothing will happen. And that is exactly what they are doing. Nothing is happening. Wike will do all these things. He will come and threaten governors. He will threaten parties. He will threaten people. Put your head and see what will happen to you. The police, the military, everybody, including the president, will just be quiet. Nobody will talk. Because one King Jong-un in somewhere in Nigeria has spoken. Just assuming the monopoly of power, even when it's not even the president of the nation. That's to tell you what Wike will do if Wike eventually becomes president of this country. People will lick the ground with their tongue. Because this man is becoming so heartless that there is no sympathy for the people. He knows the outcome of this thing is telling on the citizens. It's telling on the people of Rivers. But out of self-centeredness, He closes his eyes towards the effect of all these things in his state, and he's just going for his selfish interest. He wants to capture Rivers State for Tinubu ahead of 2027. Sorry for you people. Just know that the judgment of God will soon come, and it's going to consume all of you. So guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Thank you.